Hello, Mr. President. My name is Lucas Arnett, and I'm a representative of CAPS Consulting. I'm here to talk to you about female empowerment.
I'm listening.
So, what are some of the problems that cause female oppression? So we have women with lack of education.
Hoy me levanto sin razón. Hoy me levanto y no llego a ninguna destinación.
Why are they getting lack of education? Well, because of poverty. So, if these schools are underfunded and women don't have access to education because of their poverty, then they're not going to be able to be educated, and they're going to have a much harder time moving up the ranks of society. Now, what else can prevent them from getting education or just prevent them from succeeding? Well, gender-based violence. Also, we have something called maternal mortality. Maternal mortality is the #1 cause of death for women between the age of 14 and 18. The countries with the 3 highest maternal mortality ratios had a combined total of 4,054 deaths out of every 300,000 births. Comparably, the United States has 21 deaths out of every 100,000 births, according to the CIA World Factbook. Every day, 830 women die from preventable causes related to pregnancy and childbirth. 99% of all maternal deaths occur in developing countries. Young maternal mortality is higher in women living in rural areas and among poorer communities. Finally, there's sex trafficking. Trafficking for sexual exploitation is one of the fastest growing organized crimes, generating $27.8 billion each year. Once girls are sold into sex slavery, they often know nothing else and are so stigmatized that they remain in the trade, when that means selling sex voluntarily.
But how can we solve these problems?
And now, Mr. President, I present to you my solution in 3 parts. The first part is to provide technology for hospitals. This is mostly for foreign countries and low-income countries where communication between hospitals is very slow because of lack of infrastructure. So a lot of women who are impregnated too young don't have access to abortions or contraceptives or birth control, whatever they need to stop the child from killing them. So we have a high maternal mortality rate. So what I'm proposing is that we provide technology like phones, servers, computers, etc. to these hospitals so that they can communicate quickly to another hospital, hey, we need this, send us this vaccine, this cure, this, etc. So that between the hospitals they can communicate quickly and get the care that the patients deserve, and therefore save the lives of the women that are going to be propping up their country and supporting other women in the future. The second part is providing aid for family life education. This is vitally important because so many girls and women don't understand that if you use a contraceptive or if you use birth control, you can stop having babies. They don't understand that you don't have to have every single baby that impregnates you. So if we give them this will reduce maternal pregnancy rates among adolescents, and this will improve the safety of everyone. Plus, it will educate women so they can go on and get jobs educating other women, and this will create a process that we want. Finally, we need to provide increased funding for drug enforcement officials and the FBI. Sex trafficking is a huge problem, both in America and in other countries. So if we provide increased funding for these specific parts and branches of our police, we can more efficiently investigate these missing persons cases, these sex trafficking cases, and bring the perpetrators to justice. So right now, we have these stacks and stacks of cases of missing people that the police they're so low priority that the police aren't even looking for them, because they just have so many other more urgent priorities like murders and other things that take their time and resources. So if we boost their funding, they can hire more officials and solve these problems faster and more efficiently, which will end the problem of sex trafficking and get these girls back in the education system so that they can learn and they can get jobs and they can improve their status as a member of society.